Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to build a beautiful farm for our werewolves because that cabin in the woods is getting kind of cramped with the baby coming. So I want to build a nice farm for them, which can also house new horses from the new horse ranch expansion. So first I started with the house, and there is going to be the barn. I also wanted to make it a full farm with all animals. So there's going to be chickens, cows, and of course the new goats or sheep, or goats and sheep. I'm so excited about those goats. You know me, I love goats. And so I'm building a small enclosure for the chickens, and those cows need a lot of space. So that's kind of annoying, but you have to leave them enough space, because else you're gonna get into trouble. I wanted to make a vegetable patch as well, and an orchard, and a sort of a wind farm, because I'm pairing it with eco-living. So I wanted to have a completely self-sufficient farm. I'm trying to redo this a few times to figure out. So there's one area also for the horses. I recorded this before the live stream was out, so I didn't know how big the area for the horses should be, how much space they needed in the barn, or how much space they need outside. So I kind of winged it and then decided later on to change it. So at the end of the video there's an extra about 5 to 10 minutes, about 5 minutes, where I redid the farm. You can see that I adjusted it for the dimensions that are needed for the horses. So the floors are 4 by 6 is what I saw in the stream. So I adjusted that later, but at this time I didn't know yet. So I just held to 3 by 3, and yeah. I also wanted to have something for the kids, because those kids have had a rough childhood. So I'm building a tree house for them later. I thought that would be a nice addition. I don't know yet how that's gonna work with the new world, Chestnut Ridge, but because I didn't see the map at all yet. So I didn't know how green it was gonna be, or yeah, how arid. I'm just adding a few things from debug. Sometimes I get really stuck in debug, and because there's so much choice. I've heard that the debug for this new pack is also ace compared to growing together. So I'm very excited about that. And the debug items I used here are usually from Cottage Living or Get Famous, because you can start in a western. So there's lots of decor for that in that pack. So you'll see a few things. I think the cars are from base game anyway. I can't remember. That is probably from Cottage Living. Yeah, I found a tractor, but it's kind of too big. Just shoved it into the barn for now, and trying to figure out how much space I'm gonna need. I like that brown pickup better. You have to check if you're not gonna overlap things at first, because if you're using the move object sheet, then often they'll overlap and then your Sims will get stuck, or your game will lag horribly, which of course you don't want. I did go a bit overboard with the clutter in this build, so hope it's not too annoying. I like clutter though. It just gives a little bit extra feeling of atmosphere, and certainly for this build I want to make something nice for my werewolves, and they like a little mess. I'm building the greenhouse here, as you can see, with the new greenhouse kit. I don't know if those windows are extra good for your plants, but I have a feeling that my plants are growing better since I'm using these kit windows. I don't want to advertise this kit. Oh, kit. I mean, but yeah, I love this kit anyway, because also clutter. Basically a clutter in a window kit, that's it. But I liked it because I always build greenhouses. It's easier for your plants in the winter, then they can survive in there, and then they're always in season. So I yeah, you have to use the right height for those little bits. And yeah, there's extra paving as well that they added. So yeah, the little plants growing between them. I think this is pretty nice. I want to use that. I was thinking about maybe I should do it brown, but I do like the green better. And do use the planters that came with the werewolf pack to give it a little bit of a used edge, because it's supposed to be, you know, an old farm that they again inherited. They have very weird ancestors and family, so they already got the cabin in the woods that was from a weird uncle, and this is from grandma who died. So that's kind of my story. I'm rolling with that. I also added some actual plants to this, real plants, but also seed packets, like for grow fruit, death flower, anything, you name it, I put it in there. So if you're looking for anything plant-wise, it's gonna be in this build. So I don't remember everything, but at least the cloud plant is there, and there's wolfsbane, moon petal, all sorts of difficult to get plants. I put them all in there. So yeah, maybe a bit too much, but you can always delete them if you don't need them. Things like lily, expensive flowers as well, so you can make money straight away. Let's continue on the house. Make a porch here. Don't know if that's broad enough, maybe. And nice little fence around there. You can see some clutter items already there, the bike and everything. Yeah, I wanted to stay close to cottage living and the werewolf pack, but also have a feeling that it's kind of a farm and a ranch. Nice, but not too nice, if you know what I mean. I also used the basement treasure pack. It's that, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I use that a lot for my werewolves because that's just perfect. Between that, the werewolf pack, and eco living. Of course, I used eco living with this because you can see I did the wind farm there, so you can be completely self-sufficient. And yeah, the roofing is not my strong point, I'm sorry. My strong points are other things. You know, I can't think of them right now. Yeah, maybe storytelling and atmosphere. Yeah, something like that. And just raise that to, yeah. I'm gonna fix that later. It's gonna be okay. And just make it look like it was a beautiful farm back in the day, but not that much anymore. It's been a long time that this was a nice farm, but it used to be nice. It used to be nice. So it has some elegance to it. And I made the porch a bit bigger because, well, we don't have porch swings, which is kind of annoying, but we do have rocking chairs, so I wanted to have that space for that. Although in the original picture I took this from, the porch was smaller, but yeah, they're not Sims. Again, me struggling with roofing. It's gonna be okay, I promise, in the end. I'm using the swatches from the werewolf pack. I think that's gonna come out very nice. This is very the atmosphere that I want to go with here, and use some nice Victorian style windows. Though windows is always one of the most annoying things to do, or fun things of a build, because they often don't go together, and either they're not the right size or they don't have swatches that match, and it sometimes just drives me crazy. So I went for these. I think they're from base game, and some, like, it's built on. That's kind of the idea I want to give there. Like, see, I want to match those together, but yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, so I want to have white and brown. I think that will be nice. And then just use the same ones upstairs. Yeah, because they're all base game, I think, and they all match. So that's something. Yeah, so some steps here. You can move that in. And some steps in the back, so that you have a back door kitchen. And now I'm going to decide the layout. So I want that to be the front room with a fireplace. that would go better there. And the big room is going to be an infant room because you always need a lot of space for them. And you don't want to run into routing issues. I mean, it's hard enough as it is with infants. Not going to add to that. Just mess about here. Make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, the roof is going to be beautiful, as you can see. I'm just going to stop talking about that. Yeah, so made a little bathroom there because you want to have the bathroom adjacent to the infant room, so you can easily give them a wash because they tend to get dirty a lot. Okay, figuring out the roof. Let's do some more inside. Bit of lights, that helps decide what you want to do. Yeah, I want it to be that like an open hallway, and it's a bit cramped, but I didn't want to do a big farm, just a small one, and then do a lot of landscaping, which I did. And the railing, I think the railing is now, they added that to extra builds now. So there's going to be a twin room for the twin kids. There's going to be a master bedroom with an ensuite, and even a little room for Greg because he likes his peace and quiet. But first we're going to do the kitchen. I'm using most of the stuff again from Cottage Living, as you can expect, for a farm. And I really like the blue swatch for this. Those kitchen cabinets, they're so weird. They never really add up. And the ones that I want to use, they never fit. Like the corner ones, what's up with those? Why are they so ugly? I don't know, maybe I can fit that. Okay, just a big one then. That's okay. Also, you always use that trash can that you saw very quickly there. It'll just eat your trash and give you money. And now for the living room, I like to do all the furniture first, or well, a general idea of what I want with furniture and colors, so I can use it to decorate the rooms later. Because, I mean, you can do all the walls and floors already, and you know, you'll have to just change it later because you don't have the right swatches for the furniture. And yeah, I'm using, that table is from also another kit. The library, or the book nook kit, as it's called. Nice table and different chairs. I always had different chairs at my house as well. Not growing up, but in my own house. I like chairs with a past. Later on I changed some stuff of this because not all of them were functional off-grid. And I wanted to be able to use it off-grid as well. These cribs, they're so not great. But yeah, this is the one I end up using most of the time. So you can see, oh yeah, that playmat is also, why doesn't have the same colors, like the same swatches as the furniture. And yeah, size that dollhouse down. Doesn't matter how big it is because the kids play with it anyway. You just take the dolls out and you can make it as small as if you want. So now I'm doing the floors. Also a bit used wood. I want to have a little warm feeling in that living room, and used carpet in the infant room. I'm horrible, like the most horrible infant room out there. Kind of hurt myself doing that because I love the lovey-dovey pink stuff for the infant, but yeah, I decided not to do that because they didn't go with the build. And just filling in and making some horrible, not my favorite wallpaper. And some lights upstairs. Yeah, that's gonna be the kids' room. Yeah, maybe some doors, that's handy. I don't know if I'm gonna keep those colors, but oh well. And some stuff from, some outside stuff. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's also from the Werewolf pack. And like use bed spreads and so on. Don't know what that's from. I think Cats&Dogs. I like the old bed that Grandma used to sleep in. Yeah, that's little Greg's room. He can stay in there and be angry. Did cheat a little bit with Greg. He's lost his Greg trait, but that doesn't matter. And yeah, everything fits like just about in this. And yeah, here's a little mirror so he can calm down sometime. And some other stuff here from the werewolf pack, make a little study so you can read all the werewolf books that I also put in this build. That was a nice connect. I totally forgot about that, yeah. Because they're usually in the tunnels where you can find them, but that takes long to find them, so it's easier just to have them in your house. And one of the werewolf kids is creative, and the other one is going to be a whiz kid. And he's going to be a doctor, sort of a Frankenstein doctor, but that's my own storytelling. Yeah, I tried that because I wanted to do clutter, but yeah, there was just not enough space. And I made small bathrooms because, you know, old farms, certainly British farms, and also in Holland, where I'm from, there's usually not a lot of space in bathrooms. So I want to keep that also in this build. There's just enough space to live, but not that much else. Yeah, so using the patterns, the beds to determine what I want to do with the walls. Yeah, that might be a bit too busy, and yeah, that's nice. I think that's a nice thing for that bedroom. And bathroom has an ensuite bathroom, so that's pretty nice. The kids also have their own bathroom. Well, you know, Greg can use it, I guess. Maybe he can go outside. He's a wild man. And doing the flooring, again, just wood. Used wood would be best. Would be best. And maybe a bit the same as downstairs. Else it'll be a little too much in such a small house. And lovely wallpaper everywhere. Okay, let's do some more work on the barn, because before it was just a big box. And on the right there's going to be the stables for the horses, just 2. I didn't know again how big they should be, so I just made them 3 by 3, which of course is way too small. And on the left there's going to be a training room, because if Greg's going to live there, they have to stay in shape. They have to stay on top of that. You can see some workout equipment already. And that door is from Snowy Escape. It actually works. It's not from Debug. It's a big sliding door. So yeah, I've tested it out and it works fine. But yeah, I don't know if that'll work with horses. Again, leave the roofing alone. It's not going to work. In the end, I get it right. But yeah, that tractor is a little bit too big. And yeah, I'm here trying to create those stables and a space upstairs, like a hay loft, where you can roll around in the hay. But yeah, they didn't add that to the game. No extra woohoo and no extra deaths. I mean, death by angry goat would have been great, but no. And no rolling around in the hay. It's sad. So I just made a room to hang out, like a chill place, or even for a butler or someone who helps take care of the farm, because else it's gonna be too much. And yeah, trying to find a way to do this. Maybe, yeah, those windows are not for this barn. But yeah, those are better. The windows there were too industrial. These are just from base game. I think, yeah, that swatch is from Island Living, so I did use a lot of packs. I'm sorry, but if you have the packs, it's hard not to use them, certainly if it's trying to create a vibe from something that's not there yet. And I think I'll just replace a lot of this with the new wrench pack. Build and buy items, and of course wall and floor coverings, but until then we'll just make do what we have. Some hay, some mess, because it is a werewolf barn, so there is going to be some mess in there. Nice little hideout there with some chairs to make it all cozy, some windows, nice little table, some music, old TV. It's not to like, maybe for if there's teenagers living there, or if they're called Greg and want some solitude. It might be nice to just change the gates, because those go better, and moving some stuff out of the way there. Right, and that is going to be for the little goats enclosure, because if they're like chickens, they'll just run around everywhere, and I don't think I want that. It's nice to have their own little space that they can be happy in. And it's nice to have them with the horses, of course, but maybe not always. Maybe they need to chill sometime, because I don't know how much they sleep. And yeah, so I'm trying to do some landscaping here, and maybe not that much paving, but more like, well, we walk there a lot. That's the road that we have here, and just use kind of painting. That's, I think you could call it that. And just doing some shading. Oh yeah, I want to have a little deck outside for grilling, because that's going to be part of the new pack as well. And so I want it to be dry. And so the little pasture there in the middle is for the horses. Of course, that's a bit too small. I did change them later on. And as I said, that's going to be in the end of the video. You can see I changed it because I saw the live stream, and I decided that they needed a lot more space than I thought they might need. So doing some shading here. I just always do that sort of. I just tried out different things. Oh, you can see the stuff I used before still through it, but yeah, that's fine. I think this is sort of desert rock. I kind of like that, so I went with that. I think that suits it. Messing with the windows again, leave it alone, girl. I did want to put the tractor, but I just sized it down a little bit, just to put it there. And okay, some other little bits, and make it look like the cows can actually go anywhere, but of course we know they can't. And that little snail is from Cottage Living. I think it's really cute. Just plucked that from debug. And of course the I forgot the thing throwing. Yeah, you know what I mean. And trying to do the pond a little bit, and a recycling machine. That's always good from extra bits. You can do stuff with it. Don't hang out there. And use the same as in the front. Pillars. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, horseshoes. Horseshoe throwing. That's what that is. I didn't think of that myself. I saw that, I think, on Twitter or something. Oh yeah. I found out if you want to have a working pond that you can fish in, the sign has to be on a flat surface, and there has to be flat surface around the pond, else you won't be able to fish. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah, that's kind of how it works. I always get carried away with doing the ponds because there are so many cool pond things, and I think if you do too many of those, it's very bad for your lag as well, for your computer. So if you don't like that and your computer is slowing down this build, maybe just to remove some of those things there. I shouldn't be saying that, but yeah. So, because I like to have a lot on a lot, and maybe not everybody does, but I want to have sort of an overgrown feeling. I don't know what I have with that, but it just feels more realistic to have it less neat and more, you know, natural. Very excited about the prairie grass. Maybe a bit too excited, but then there's actual grass growing. How cute is that? I think that's cool, and you can use it for your, I think, your goats and your cows. Because when I went after the update, I looked at the cow shed, and you can actually put the prairie grass in there. Because yeah, that's great, but yeah, we don't have prairie grass yet. So I guess they just made it that way, that you can use it, but you don't have it unless you buy the pack, which is But I think the goats and the horses and the cows can eat it. So I think that's one of the nicer things that they came up with. People are asking for a long time about like mowable grass. Oh yeah, I got that silo from debug as well. There's actually several ones if you have a lot of packs like I do. but I liked that one the best, a bit grungy, because I liked that sort of vibe, overgrown vibe here, and yeah, that's nice. That looks like it's been there for a while. It's really a unique fixer-upper, this property, as you can see. I also put some evil hens and an evil rooster in there that can either kill you or help you defeat death. Yes, they can. And a golden hen as well for the golden eggs. There's lots of ways to get rich on this property if you're not already. Well, they are not, as you can see. And just using those used rugs from the werewolf pack as well. I love them for these kind of builds. And they have a lot of swatches as well that go well with this. And I like to do the rugs. I don't know, it always feels like a good moment when you're doing the rugs. Rugs outside, yes, because they're that kind of people. And yeah, doing the basement now because there's going to be nectar making, and I want to have like a nectar basement, but also an extra room for one of my werewolves who's paranoid and likes to live below ground. And yeah, maybe a keg and a little hobby room there as well. You have the brewing machine, so if you don't have the wrench pack, you can also use that brewing apparatus from Eco Living, and it's so bikes. Yeah, and so you can use it anyway, even if you don't have that pack. So you can still have all the benefits, a nice piano, like an old piano, because yeah, who plays piano? Maybe the daughter will play piano. She's creative. I haven't decided what she's gonna do for art, like doing painting or music. Yeah, I'm changing the swatch on the outside. This is the second part of the video, actually. So you can see most of it was already done. I missed some of it because I forgot to actually record it. So I moved the cows and then decided to make that the patch for the grasses, because that's easy, then they can like stand under there when it's raining and they can look outside a little bit more. I decided not to make them be able to go outside through there because I don't know if that's handy or just horrible, because I don't know if you have to lock the doors for them. I think so. And change the windows as well so they can stick their head out. Just like go, what's going on outside? Yeah, and I changed the roof again. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I saw some picture and yeah, I decided to change it according to that. There's a money trees over there. I finished a lot of this, but I just go hunting in debug and it's not very maybe interesting to watch. Yeah, I want to have the little windows there and the overhang there just so that you don't get rained on. And on the picture also it has one of those little thingamajigs on the roof, so I thought that would be cool. Those from Cats&Dogs, so it's like a little dog. And yeah, I think that looks nice. And what else? Yeah, so I make those like half walls instead of just a fence. I thought that would be nicer, and then put like a little fence in the middle there, and then I could put a door. Ta-da! I lay awake at night thinking of things like that. And I had to do the beams as well, but yeah, they don't really like connect. So I had this little idea, I'm just gonna put like shelves and then it looks like it connects. I don't know if that really worked out, but yeah, this is how I did it. Just put these little shelves there. Maybe the other side. I don't know. A lot of this like finagling goes on. Like, oh, that's nice and small. So yeah, then it doesn't look like a shelf, but like part of it. I don't know how to do it in the middle because, well, I'm not that good. But you know, it looks nice, right? The lights, and I think those lights don't actually cost energy if they're part of the doors. So it is nice if you want to build that off grid. I did use electrical lights for this because I was worried the horses would be scared of fire. You can always change them later, of course. And yeah, the little goat pen I made, and also a little hideout for the horses outside. And yeah, I guess this is the end of the video. I really enjoyed making this video. Maybe it was a little long. Please let me know what you thought in the comments. And if you really enjoyed it, please subscribe because I've got a lot more where this came from. I'm doing builds every week. So that was it. I think it came out pretty nice and I'm totally ready for those horses. Yeehaw! God, that was terrible. I'm so sorry. Have a nice day. Bye bye.